Break open your house one thing. They rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on side. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Dance! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here.
So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. We are live on Synergy Network from 7 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday. What are we running next day? So as we go straight into our program, viewers, for those of you who wondering about the Forex currency cut on credit card by Republic, no, my mistake, by all the commercial banks in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, RBC, in the recent cut on their U.S. credit card. Now, this is what they had to say. RBC insists that the recent Forex exchange limit announced for its credit card are necessary in the face of a steady increase in foreign currency transaction with no corresponding increase in supply. The Canadian-based bank said, like any other financial institution, it regularly reviews the Forex limit on clients' credit card and realized it would have to implement limits effective December 1st. In response to a question, RBC said, "We understand this situation may cause inconvenience, and we deeply emphasize with our client who rely on foreign currency for their personal and business needs." The bank added, "We also recognize the holiday months are at a time when people have the greatest need for foreign exchange, but these adjustments are necessary." On Friday, RBC announced that credit card holders will see their monthly limit reduced from $41,000 to $14,000 in Forex equivalent, representing in a 66% decrease. Greater Tunapuna Chamber of Industries and Commerce President Ramon said, "The small and medium business size will feel the brunt of the credit card cut, as it will hinder their ability to be competitive, and they will now have to seek alternative sources to be able to satisfy the demand in the local market." RBC is the latest bank to reduce foreign exchange limits on credit card. Scotiabank recently announced that effective December 1st also. So Trinidad and Tobago. Now I want you all to understand this. I want you all to understand this carefully. All the banks in Trinidad and Tobago are governed by central bank. Understand this closely. The Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, together with other ministers, are saying there's a shortage of Forex or US currency in Trinidad and Tobago. Just follow me closely. There's a shortage of US currency in Trinidad and Tobago. This was the cry for months going by. Months and months, until the small size business had to close down. The man who's selling on the streets, who buy from online stores, the man who go Panama, the man who go down Venezuela, the man who go Suriname, Mexico and shop. Suitcase trader, we call them. They will have to close down their business and find some sort of other way to live. Now, it continue a trend where banks now started to cut credit card. They started to reduce 10, 15, 20, 50%. All this time, Klungenberg saying there's a shortage of foreign currency in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, good. Every minister saying tighten your belt, tighten your belt, tighten your belt. Okay? All of a sudden, Klungenberg revisit something because a businessman in Trinidad and Tobago sent a letter to the IMF. And all of a sudden, $25 million to the importers and the exporters as of November 4th, I believe, will be available on a monthly base to business. $25 million US per month until further notice. So I have asked this question. Since Klungenberg did this, I've asked businessmen in this country, how do you feel now that the very minister you confided in as a friend had your business suffering? Trust me, people, when I say the kind of businessman called me, they will be shocked. They will be shocked. The kind of businessman called me concerning that, you would be shocked. It amazes them to know this little short man we have, who these people supported the PNM. They were surprised to know Klungenberg was the man who was not releasing foreign currency to the Exim Bank. It's sad, eh? I'll tell you, let's just say 50 out of 60 not supporting Klungenberg again. Trust me when I tell you that. Trust me. Because if you and I could be knocking glass, if you and I, Klungenberg, could be knocking glass, and this is what you do to me and you can't knock glass again. It's sad. It's sad. Now we are hearing banks cutting credit cards. So I want to ask you all this question. I want to ask Klungenberg the same thing. Where is the 25 million US per month coming from to support the Exim Bank? Where is that money coming from? Is that money coming from Central Bank? And if that money is coming from Central Bank, how it is that banks are cutting credit cards for business people and the normal individual then? How come? How come? It's really, really sad. While you are thinking about that, listen this. The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, which a businessman from Trinidad and Tobago sent a letter to that caused Clongenberg now to release $25 million US per month. I told you I'm following up that story, you know. Now all I listen to this, eh? The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, have stated that Trinidad and Tobago foreign exchange restrictions are not consistent with the fund or the fund's article of agreement. I don't know what is that? It's not working hand in hand. It's not working hand in hand. Keep in mind, Clongenberg was the one who said for every month, as of November 4th, $25 million will be released to Exim Bank for the importers and the wholesalers, exporters, business people, manufacturers. The comments followed a period of heightened concern about foreign exchange supply constraint in Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to me closely, you know. And all I will know why all are suffering for money. All I will know why all are suffering for US. All I will understand why your business had to shut down now. Because those in authority mix and mingling. It mix and mingling. You will get? No, you cannot get none. You will get a little bit? No, you can't get none today. I have somebody else to give. Serious? You know what is brutal or real as it gets? In its comment, the IMF spokesperson said, under the article, oh, I forgot to put the article number here, but section 2A of the fund's article of agreement, no member of a fund shall without the approval of the funds impose restrictions on the making of payment and transfers of current international transaction. I'll get the article number just now. Now Trinidad and Tobago. The IMF noted that Trinidad and Tobago exchange restrictions are identified and assessed in Article 5, Consultation Staff Report. Viewers, let me tell you something. The only person who stopped the US from flowing in Trinidad and Tobago is who? Well, come now, man. I'm afraid to say. So viewers, under Article 8, Section 2A of the funds article of agreement, no member of the funds shall without the approval of the fund impose restriction on making of payments and transfers of current international transaction. In other words, nobody can do it. So who's bringing on the restrictions? Are they doing it by law or are they just throwing it out to anybody in the public? Ask yourself that now. I tell all that it's bringing it real tall, yeah, you know. Tell all that. Speaking at a news conference, Minister of Finance Clongenberg stated that the government through the Central Bank, the Exim Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, and a special window for state enterprise injected a little more than $2 billion into the funds, or $2 billion into the market in 2023. Where is 25 million US coming from every month? Clongenberg, I want to know. You could take Trinidad and Tobago for fools But one person you cannot take for a fool is Saieed. You know why? I am in the finance business. I am in the finance business. He said the government has been facing this situation since they came in office in 2015, and revealed that the government still has almost $6 billion in reserve after 9 years, and especially after COVID. Or listen to this man on TV.
The amount of foreign exchange, I actually pulled up something here. 2023, the total injection through the Exim Bank and through the central bank was close to $2 billion, actually a little more than $2 billion. And we've been averaging around there 1.8, 1.9, sometimes 2. We went to $2.4 billion quite recently per year, US. That does deplete the reserves, of course. But we've been facing this situation since we came in 2015, and we've managed it. We've managed the process where we have not run out of foreign exchange. So, of course, the injection of foreign exchange through the central bank, through the Exim Bank, etc., of course that draws down on the reserves. But we've come up with many different innovative ways of replenishing those reserves. And this is why we still have almost $6 billion in reserves after 9 years, and especially after COVID, where we had to use quite a bit of foreign exchange.
So Trinidad and Tobago, they came in 2015 and they said they had this problem. And the refinery was up and running and making US currency. Oh, let's say something. Say something. Say something. You see, one thing I just continue telling Clung and Bird. You see, coming to finance, you can't time up. I'm an accountant. I've been in this business for about 30 to 35 years. You cannot tie me up with finance, Clung and Bird. So the refinery was exported, we was making US. We was making US currency. They come in now, they find our fault, they shut it down. So I want Clung and Bird now to tell Trinidad and Tobago, if he decides to tell us the truth, how much money, US currency, the refinery was making while functioning, and how much now are they spending to import oil into Trinidad and Tobago? How much? You will never get the correct answer from Clung and Bird. I tell you that on national television. You will never get the correct answer. How much companies were functioning in Trinidad and Tobago for the last, let's see, COVID came around since when? 2020, I believe we spent 3 years in COVID. Yeah? 2020. How much business shut down? How much manufacturing places closed down because they couldn't get US? Clung and Bird said something, man. But you're talking about you inject $2 billion? So if you inject $2 billion, how come business places closed down in Trinidad and Tobago? Because they couldn't get US currency. And from then to now it continue? No, man, Clung and Bird, man. Tell the public the truth. Come out and tell the public the truth. So boom, shut out of nowhere now. $25 million now to Exim Bank every month until further notice. Where the money come from now? Where the money come from now? Trinidad and Tobago, according to the data center of the central bank, TNT's net official foreign reserve for September 2024, $5.664 billion. If we are making no money, If we're not making US currency in Trinidad and Tobago, if we have nothing in this country, bringing in foreign currency, how we reach up to here now, Clongenbert? Oh God, Clongenbert, come tell the public something now, man. Tell the public something. Clongenbert, tell the people something. You're suffering. Everybody's suffering. Everybody's suffering. But you know who's going to suffer the most just now, Clongenbert? When Ola, get your act together, you know. Because the Privy Council wants to know why it is Clongenbert is not being investigated. And your name being Ola Hayward Christopher, the Commissioner of Police. What are you going to launch an investigation? So you see Trinidad and Tobago? You see how it started off? Who was holding back the money? All of a sudden, one letter went to IMF. And Exim Bank get money all of a sudden. All of a sudden, Exim Bank get money. Look how much? 25 million US per month now. Let's go back to that. Tall. Focus. Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. When I tell you, is the Ministry of Finance have this country like this, don't doubt me. It have money, but no money. Nobody I want to release no money. Trinidad and Tobago, we have billions of dollars. But where is it? I'll tell you something. It have a group of people that fitting in this handful controls it. Controls it. And it came from the Privy Council. So Clongenbert and Erla, what do they have in common? What do they have in common? Clongenbert holding back the US currency on one side, and Erla, not, well, how to say, we gone down the drain with crime. Because your head, instead of facing forward, is facing backward. Because apparently you can't see what's going on in front of you. So tonight now, I am making it publicly clear on national television. Why is it that Ola Hayward Christopher hasn't launched an investigation into Clongenbert? Because the Privy Council is saying, how come Clongenbert is not being investigated? And why it is that Clongenbert raises an investigation into the Auditor General office. Let me tell you something. To top it off, why is it two high-ranking officer lawyers went to the Privy Council to put pressure on Jaiwanti? So now Trinidad and Tobago, how much money did the Attorney General now, or the Ministry of Finance, spent for the two lawyers that went to the Privy Council against Jaiwanti Ramdas? How much money did that cost the state? And they lost the matter. Where's the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago? How come you make a statement on that? How come you let Trinidad and Tobago know how much money we spent in taxpayers' dollars and you lost the damn case? I wonder if the AG in Trinidad, or he fly out to some country to duck news conference. In Trinidad, Amo? Put on your damn armor and come out now and face the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. If you feel, because you are the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, you feel Saieed gonna afraid you, brother man, think again. Think again. Think again. I respect your office. I respect the AG office. But you see the individual who run in that office, trust me, you should have been hustling taxi on the street. Take what I'm telling you. You want money from the Ministry of Finance to pay a set of lawyers who we never hear about, who we don't know who they represent, what they stand up for, what was the claim? You want to give them a set of money. Taxpayers' money you want to give them? You should be ashamed, but your teacher fall out. Your tongue should stop talking in your mouth. I'm telling all of that because I'll tell you something. It's the part of you not coming out and telling Trinidad and Tobago transparency, as we should say. Well, you should be ashamed of all yourself. Knowing that your name as the Attorney General for Trinidad and Tobago being blasted, not in a good way, you know, but in the most ridiculous way you could think about on the airwaves, and it going right around the world. Right around the world. Imagine Trinidad and Tobago, your taxpayers' money have to pay lawyers that you ain't know what they sell for Trinidad and Tobago for. Is that fair to all, yeah? While all they're sweating, all they're nanning off to pay taxes, they want to take up all their money and just give it to somebody. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, you will hear, Embert, we will not float the TT dollar. I feel Embert's had to get senile, you know, after this.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid upfront. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union, Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
So welcome back to viewers to Real Talk. We are live on Synergy. Remember that. Those who are looking for cash, remember we are a finance company. Those who are looking for cash borrow is not a problem. You can call our office, viewers. Our numbers are on screen. Remember that, viewers. 242-9944. It's our South Credit Union. 231-6219 is our Central Credit Union. And also 238-6716, 339-1670. You can contact me, viewers, for spiritual work, spiritual reading, and for loans also. So remember that. So, as we touch on this topic, Finance Minister Clongenberg have rejected claims published that the government has received a caution from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, with respect to the distribution of foreign exchange. In a statement, Imbert noted, the reality is that the IMF recommendation and the government should allow the TT dollar to float, which would result in an immediate devaluation of the TNT dollar, is not new. So what I would like now is to make sure Clongenberg is not twisting the words. You understand? To make sure he's not twisting the words. But talking the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth. And we all know how Clongenberg like to do it. We all know. But, viewers, I will tell you this, Clongenberg had this country at ransom with US currency. With US currency. And all of a sudden, one letter. And that's it. Money for everybody. Now listen to this, Bartara Sawa MP Saddam Hussein is calling on Attorney General, Regional I just call him a Regional Armo, you know. Trinidad and Tobago was once the little Dubai of the Caribbean. And people in high places, we just call them Armo. Regional people. They can't have their own country, but they want to be regional. I'm going to tell you something. I don't give a crap about them, you know. Because everybody reaching that stage of power, they just forget where they come from. Their head is still from forward how it's supposed to be and facing backward like a dwen. Some of you will say, by side, boy, you're hitting them hard tonight. It's about time. It's about time that somebody in Trinidad and Tobago sting them up internationally. And if I have to be the one to do it, well, then I will do it with pleasure. With pleasure. Clongenberg had wholesalers and importers suffering for US currency through the Exim Bank. One letter to the IMF. Clongenberg tail gone between his leg. Your tail gone between your leg. All of a sudden now, boom shot, 25 million US. So all who's a call Clongenberg friend, my friend Clong, how you going? That's the same man had a lot of fine and the business shutting down. I'll go and hug him up. This time hit him a kiss on the cheeks. Right here. Clowns. You're suffering, but I'm a friend. The bank sees your card, I'm a friend. Your business shut down, I'm a friend. Your wife leave you because your business shut down and the bank sees the card, but I'm a friend. I don't care who in the PNMO UNCL outside. That's all your business. That's all your business. That's not my business. I don't care if you like me or not. But at the end of the day, understand who suffered all you. That is what I want all you to understand. So listen to this now. Regional Armo SC to publicly disclose the fees. This is what Saddam Hussein wants Regional Armo to do. Publicly disclose the fee paid to attorneys who represent the state during a recent hearing at the Privy Council in London. Remember I was just telling earlier about that? The matter, which was heard on November 7th, dealt with an appeal brought by the Finance Minister Clongenberg and the Cabinet, over judicial permission given to Auditor General Jayawati Ramdas to challenge the constitutionality of the investigation against her. Let me tell you something. Imagine this, eh? Imagine this. We have, let me bring this into a nice home style so you'll understand something. We have the father of the house, and then we have the kids of the house. The kids of the house report to the mother that, Moms, what daddy telling me, it's adding up, you know. It's adding up at all. So mom say, all right. Mom start to ask father of the house now. So what you tell the child, is it correct? Father can't answer. Father decide now. Father decide to bring his brother now. To question the son now about what the son tell the mother. Can you follow me? Jayawati Ramdas tells Trinidad and Tobago 3-point-something billion is gone missing. When she talked to Clongenbert now, the Mats and Clongenbert now, with the cabinet, decides to launch an investigation into the Auditor General office. How could you launch an investigation into the Auditor General office? The office that is telling Trinidad and Tobago how much money the government is spending. And accountability, transparency, which Clongenbert I know. You want to question that? So listen good. The matter went to the Privy Council and was heard on the 7th of November. Regarding the investigation against Ramdas, Hussein expressed concerns that it could undermine the independence of the Auditor General office. He poses the question during a UNC media briefing, where he described the government appeal as a waste of taxpayers' money. Hussein stated that it is a matter of transparency to the taxpayers as the Attorney General who is likes to hide. Transparency, the Attorney General ain't want to come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago the truth. Now, Sawa MP called on the Attorney General to account to the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago and inform them on how much money was spent on legal fees, travels, and allowance, and more to the 2 lawyers that went in London. Listen to this.
And we must now ask the government how much money was spent on legal fees. You hired 2 senior counsels. Why? Why did you require 2 senior counsels? Today, the government must account for how much money in legal fees was spent on this matter with respect to the Auditor General. Because this is a serious matter. Maybe when we get the bill, it might be the missing $3 billion. But this is clearly an issue of transparency and accountability to the taxpayers. Because we have an Attorney General who likes to hide. And he comes to the Parliament and says, listen, I can't tell you how much we pay the lawyers, but give me $145 million to spend on external attorneys. We are calling on the Attorney General, Mr. Reginald Amos, Senior Counsel, to account to the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago and tell us directly how much money was spent on legal fees for this matter, travel allowance, per diem allowance, and also accommodation.
So you see Trinidad and Tobago. Now I want to let you understand something. We have Regional Amo, who's a senior counsel and also the Attorney General for Trinidad and Tobago. But you're so busy. Let me tell you something. You're so busy because you, Regional Amo, and the Minister of Finance, watch me as the both of them charge up against Ramdas, you know. But the thing is, The Attorney General is so busy in Trinidad and Tobago that they hired 2 attorneys to go to London. How much money was spent? How much? For God in heaven's sake, Amo. Come out and tell the people. Come out and tell the people. Because number 1 is taxpayers' money being spent. Number 2 is not your money, it's not Clongenberg money. Number 3 is the central bank money. Number 4 is the people of Trinidad and Tobago whose sweat contributed to tax. And for all you to be living up nice, to be running with tax-free money, well, I should get stroked by, they're quite telling all you. God don't like ugly, you know. I want you to understand that. Look what happened to Maxi Coffee. God don't like ugly. As Maxi Coffee get chosen and he went into power, he got a stroke and he hook up. He got a stroke and he hook up. God don't like ugly. Call a good night.
Good night. Maxi Coffee was a medical episode. But I want to add some more fees. We're only looking at the legal fees. What about the investigative fees for Harris, the special appointed committee? And they had to pay he to investigate how much money getting. Remember, Amo for the missing files. Another fellow named Stan Pichon, they pay plenty money to investigate.
Yeah.
So we have a set of money putting aside, we taxpayers' money, that we want a full breakdown. But more importantly, tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow is the 13th. And the Joint Select Committee, the Public Accounts Committee, is meeting on this issue.
On November the 13th.
I'm hoping that there is a full quorum to basically investigate it thoroughly, and we question the central bank, we question the Ministry of Official Finance, and I'm hoping Colin Abbott will be present to be asked certain questions. But
thank you, my friend. I understand what you're saying, but we run out of time. Now, viewers, the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee, the PAC, will meet on November 13th at the Red House to discuss the Auditor General report on the public accounts for 2023 financial year and a subsequent special report on these accounts that was provided by the Auditor General. Let me tell you something. They lashed the Privy Council, hit them, and the statement come out of the Privy Council. Watch me. It put us, Trinidad and Tobago, to shame, you know. When I tell you to shame, I'm talking about shame, disgrace, disloyal. Kick we in a corner and leave we ride it. That's the kind of shame I'm talking about. That is the kind of shame. It's like you put a person in the cell, you lock the door, as you walk away, you put away the key. That's the kind of shame we end up on, under the Privy Council. You want to know how? Hold on. On November 7, the Privy Council dismissed an appeal by Finance Minister Clongenberg and the Cabinet against judicial permission given to Auditor General Ramdas to pursue her law challenges. A state-ordered probe of circumstances surrounding the auditor and the 2023 public accounts. I want to let you keep in mind. Ramdas said, Clongenberg called her. Were you informed of the $3 billion that can be accounted for? Or are you aware of the $3 billion that we are having problems with? How can you assist the government? Ramdas was like, how did he get my private number? And why is he calling me? Why did he use the office line? Five Privy Council law lords from London gave their immediate decision on Ember's challenge of the reversal of the premature dismissal of her lawsuit. The dispute between Ramdas and Imbud began in April after the ministry sought to deliver amended public accounts to explain and rectify an error in which government revenue was understated to the original sum of $3.4 billion and subsequently to $2.6 billion. You see the mass difference? You see the mass difference? The statutory deadline to provide the accounts was January 31st. Ramdas was given the first set of accounts for 2023, which was audited but not yet submitted. When she was told by the ministry that the first accounts were understated by $2.6 billion. Now, by statute, the Auditor General has to annually audit the public accounts provided by the ministry. Ramdas initially refused to accept the second set of accounts, arguing that her office had completed the audit. But relented after legal action was threatened. In her legal challenges, she claimed she was bullied into accepting the second set of accounts. It is said, no, Trinidad and Tobago, I want you to understand something. The Auditor General office, her responsibility to Trinidad and Tobago is transparency, is accountability. She is doing the audit on how much money the government spent. And having a company, I will tell you, when you have a company and the accountant is doing your audit, every single cent spent must have a receipt. It must have a receipt to back it up. So the Ministry of Finance submitted their first set of papers. They fixed their first set of papers and sent it in. The Auditor General did what she's supposed to do here. And boom, a second set coming in. Where is second set coming in from? Why is this second set coming in when you already submitted the first set? So according to Ramdas, she was bullied into taking the second set. So what are you going to do with the first set that was submitted? What are you going to do? And because of this now, caused a legal battle between the Auditor General Office and Clongenberg. You can't want to bully somebody who's doing the correct thing. No. No, you can't do that. And she stood up for her right. She didn't care who Clongenberg was. She didn't care who the Attorney General was. I am the Auditor General for Trinidad and Tobago. I am Jaiwanti Ramdas. My profession is to audit earlier. That's my profession. And because now I refuse to take the second set, all I want to challenge my office after I finish the first set? Now I had to be joking. All I had to be joking. And there is where the battle started. That's the reason why you always hear me saying, 3 billion going missing. Where it went? Where did the money go? Clongenberg. Privy Council lawyers in London wants to know why Clongenberg is not being investigated. And I came out right here and I ask you, so how it is that Clongenberg and the cabinet could select a team of investigators to go and audit the Auditor General Office when the Auditor General Office is telling all the damn Matson. All your Matson. All I want to investigate she office like she do something wrong. Who the hot oil fall on? I wonder how the Attorney General is feeling now. How is he feeling now? Imagine the Attorney General said with Clongenberg into auditing or investigating the Auditor General office when she telling all the matter adding. It's sad. It's stinking sad. So now the Privy Council, the law lords in England now, making headlines now, why it is Clongenberg now is not being investigated. That is how stink we looking on the world map. Trinidad and Tobago don't get tired. That's how stink we looking. That is the kind of downgrade we get. So I want to ask Ola now. Ola, when are you going to launch an investigation now? Because law lords wants to know. Imagine, you as the Minister of Finance, you submit your book to the accountant. The accountant telling you, hey, Clunky Bird, this Matson boy, the Matson boy. You want to investigate the accountant now? What can I work along this do? What's the profession? You can't come at me, you know. I let you know one time on national television. You can't come at me. You better try and cool on the hot water your butt sitting down on, not mine. Trinidad and Tobago, I just tell all you know. When you hear them choose to come at Saieed, know the man all coming after, you know. Trust me, because all may not reach. You see what happened to the Alsing? The Alsing, when they say it have a loudmouth man on TV, and I come up on national television and tell the Alsing, the next time you call me a loudmouth man on TV, the next accident you're getting, you may not survive. I feel like afraid somebody. Let me tell you something. In Trinidad and Tobago, there's too much nonsense taking place. Too much of this and too much of that and too much of the next and too much of people turning a damn blind eye. Look, we're in a gutter right now. We're in a gutter. Business shutting down, robbery, home invasion, extortion. So what? 1.4 million people? We have a blind commissioner of police. She can't see, she can't hear, and she can't smell. And who appointed her? Let me tell you something, eh? I wonder if any of you ever hear bandits robbing ministers. All you ever hear that yet? No. You know why? Because all the taxpayers' dollars pay for security for them. So who the bandits coming after? The poor man. Oh. You mean Terrence and the gold bearer? No, I don't believe that. I feel like some kind of setup. You gonna tell me that come to rob you a gold bearer and your wedding ring in your hand? Call her good night.
Yes, sir, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saeed, the way you holding that paper in your hand, you know what that reminded me of?
Tell me.
That reminded me of the meritless with the commissioner of police. Someone trying to tell you that with the PNM good for, man. That's what it's good for. When you say, hey, let me tell you something. You see that finance minister, all you're hearing about that whole situation is the damn public office. That is just what that. Plain talk, bad man. Now watch me. I want to ask you a question here tonight, right?
Tell me.
Is this the only way that you could get U.S. currency from Exim Bank is to take a loan? I want you to find out that for me. The only way you can access U.S. currency from the Exim Bank is to take a loan.
I wouldn't doubt you. I wouldn't doubt you.
You enjoy your night.
Thank you, my friend. I would not doubt you, my brother. Hey, Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. We're going down in the gutter, you know. We're going down in the gutter. Now, listen to this. We're switching a little bit because we're running out of time. Minister in the Ministry of National Security, Keith Scotland, is calling for cooler heads to prevail as there are claims of businessmen wanting to take matters into their own hands in response to the surge in extortion. Scotland, along with senior police and members of the Defence Force, visited Shoguanas to reassure merchants of their commitment to security. Trinidad and Tobago, listen this. Come back to me. Trinidad and Tobago, I want you to listen this. Scotland, along with senior police members and defense force officers. So in Scotland, senior members and defense force. All of them you had to come with? That embarrassment right there. Right there. Now, before I go further, listen to this video.
This person is relaying a story to me. A business owner was telling them that, they were approached by persons trying to extort them. And the person basically tell them, no, I don't want no part of this, right? And he said that he's not going to pay them a single cent, and he will deal with this matter in his own way. Whatever is his own way is his own way. I can't say. He has no intentions of dealing with it. He said, he even went on to say that if he survives whatever they throw at him, he rather take all the money in his possession and deal with these individuals. This is because he can't trust what is happening right now, and this is this is what the citizens are saying, because we are seeing so many police as well involved in some of these extortion and kidnapping. So this is something that needs to be rooted out from the system, because businesses, not only business owners, but citizens are feeling like they will have to push back on their own, because they can't depend on this government to do anything for them.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I believe it was yesterday or today, a police officer was charged for committing a home invasion. They say his fingerprint were found on the knife. A police officer? It's sad. It's really sad. Trinidad and Tobago, we run out of time real fast tonight, boy. Serious. But let me tell you something. You see just how I just come here and stand up every night? I just stand up for anybody that come to me. Anybody. Whether you're rich or you're poor, fear is fear across the board. Now, I've been doing spirit work for 18 years. And I don't pick sides. The right thing is the right thing with me. I just tell people that. And I'm brave about it. That's why I just challenge anybody. Come wrong me. I will not hesitate to do what I do again, When they tried to kidnap my son, Three of them blind, one dead, That's why I just tell people, when you decide to jump side fence, brother man, know that house is side, know when you jump in this fence, you ain't jumping back out, Because when I drop a bullet in your kneecap or in your back, and your friends and them leave here, is my Rottweiler and my pit bull coming out for you, You will bawl until thy kingdom come and nobody is saving you, And then I want to see the mother and the father now come and say, oh, Saieed was a good boy, and look how your dog eats him up. You should be jumping that fence with him. You should be jumping the fence with him. Trying to make out, tell you something. You see, come on the spirit walk, I do play. People who get robbed and come by me, they get justice. People whose daughter was raped and police catch him and let him go, they get justice. You want a rape? Not a problem. Not a problem. I'll show you where he is now. How it feels. That's what I had to ask you. On national television, how it feels. I know tonight was a serious night because of certain things happen. I'm going to tell you something. Crime out of control. It's totally out of control. But on the next night, Tuesday night, more on Real Talk. Good night. Yeah, hey, director. I forgot that, yes. Viewers, I'm looking for this person. Saieed Ali. And I'm paying $10,000 for this vehicle. Now, I want to see the number plate. It blow? Number plate just now, hold on. Hold on. Try and Tobago. I'm looking for this aqua. Drop the aqua. PED 9540. I'm looking for Saieed Ali and I'm looking for this aqua. PED 9540. Nice. I'm looking for this aqua. I'm paying $10,000 for anybody. Anybody, bandit, police, anybody else. For Tyreek and the car. Until we meet again, good night.